Alright, Digi-Egg cards. Got the Puroromon from BT18, 4 copies of it as our main egg because we want to utilize our starter main to put a royal base from our hand underneath our security face up, so then we can cycle through and grab the top security and sort of search that way. Really important card because it's effectively almost like drawing off your security and setting up the specific one that you want to have inside so then you can get your additional buffs. For rookies, I prioritize the BT19 funbeemon, which has a security effect giving all your royal base Digimon extra 1000 DP while it's in there. But the main reason why I'm playing this card is so that I can reduce my Digivolution cost as I get into my level 4s. Inherited effect, all turns extra 1k is always bonus and nice. As for the BT18 version, has the exact same security effect of extra 1k buff and inheritable as well. This one has the on-play effect, which is just like our Digi-Egg card, but instead it's more immediate, so then we can cycle through whenever we need to. Then to round off for the rookies, I'm running 3 copies of the X from BT9, which is our main searcher to grab us any insectoid alongside with the X antibody option card, and the whole archetype of the royal base all have the rule trait insectoid, which is really helpful when it comes to that. For level 4s, got 4 copies of Waspmon, which also has the same security effect as the funbeemons, extra 1000 DP across all turns. And the main reason for this card is to prevent our opponents to attack into us with any rookie rush style strategy. And the higher DP you have for Waspmon, the higher DP you can stop the opponents from attacking you as well at the same time. Inherited effect, just like funbeemon, extra 1000 DP during all turns as well. QueenBeemon, pretty much exactly the same thing with security and inherited effects as well with extra 1000 DP. You can place this card from your battle area to the bottom security stack face up so that they don't leave. Level 5s, got 4 copies of QueenBeemon, which its security effects provides all our royal base Digimon blocker. Whenever you play or digivolve into this card, you get to de-digivolve 1 on your opponent's Digimon for each face-up royal base card in your security. And of course, the more you have, the more you can de-digivolve that one single Digimon. Inheritable, one of my personal favorites, all turns when you take down an opponent's Digimon by battle, trash the opponent's security. And for Vespamon, which is our other level 5, I'm running 2 copies, which has exact same effects when it comes to those things with the security and the inheritable. And this one is when it's played or digivolve, you get to pop something that's 2 costs or less as your opponent's Digimon. And for every royal base card you got face up in your security, increase it by 2. Then to round off for level 5s, got 2 copies of Metal Life, which is just a very good generic insectoid to suspend down the opponent's Digimon, extra DP buffs, and have redirect to give us a little bit extra defense. Level 6s, QueenBeemon is the main boss card of the deck, and I'm running 4 copies. It can digivolve for 3 on top of any level 5 royal base, otherwise it can digivolve on top of any level 5 black or green for 4 costs instead. It has Alliance so that it can go for big massive attacks. When attacking, you can bring out any royal base Digimon that's face up in your security and reduce its play cost by 8. With that, you can easily just bring out level 5 for free. Otherwise, you can even go for level 6s as well. Finally, she's great to keep your beehive base as healthy as possible because whenever your royal base trait Digimon would leave the battle area other than by battle specifically, you get to place them face up to the bottom security stack instead so they can cycle your security and make sure you have a lot of effects and resources that you can always recur back later on. Next, tigervespamon, one of my personal favorites to finally come into the Digimon card game. This guy can digivolve for 3 costs on top of any level 5 royal base. Otherwise, it's 4 costs as well, just like QueenBeemon on top of any green or black level 5. It has piercing and reboot. Whenever you play it or digivolve it, you get to suspend down your opponent's Digimon for every face-up royal base card you got in the security stack, and none of their Digimon can unsuspend for the next turn. This is where you can then attack into your opponent's Digimon, delete it by battle, and utilize its second effect to unsuspend, which is also all turns. To round off for level 6s, I got 2 copies of Leopardmon X, which is a card that I've really been liking and really helps out this deck. As you guys saw from the gameplay, we're able to go wide and play out even more bodies, and that's the whole idea of what QueenBeemon does. And Leopardmon X does that as well. You get to reduce the cost by 4, playing any green Digimon from your hand. If you have X antibody underneath, which you oftenly will, you get to reduce it further by 3. That is almost just as good as QueenBeemon because you can play out all your level 5s for 1 cost, if not for free, with Metal Life, or you can go for your level 6s too. And that synergizes with a second effect to bounce your opponent's Digimon with 5000 DP or less back to their hand, and the wider the board you have, the higher DP you can bounce your opponent's Digimon too. Tamers, I got 3 copies of Winner, which gives us additional memory to work with at the start of the main phase as long as the opponent has a Digimon, and this is what gives us access into our face-up security as we can digivolve into them as our resource. Afterwards, you also get to place royal-based Digimon to the bottom of your security face up so that you can continue to repeat this combo turn after turn. As my secondary tamer, I got Shu Yulin, which is my memory setter, and this has a lot of great synergy as well, mainly being able to mind link underneath X antibody related Digimon to provide additional alliance for even higher damage, but also reboot so that our QueenBeemon can also stand back up, ensuring that we have blocker synergy all at the same time. Option cards, since the entire archetype line is all X antibody, Protoform is a certainly must-have, and it's just incredibly valuable as it helps you digivolve up your stack very efficiently. As a matter of fact, when you synergize with QueenBeemon, and if QueenBeemon is in threat, you get to return QueenBeemon to security and Protoform and grab a source back so you can keep yourself healthy in the game. For other options, I got the standard agility training and green memory boost for effective searching in the early stages to help us find pieces. HBD is always a fantastic staple green card which can help us digivolve up into our top end for free, and got one copy of the Hornet Eraser just for clutch plays to delete the opponent's board entirely and also put something back from our trash that's royal base related into a security that we can use later afterwards. Alright, tech choices and other cards that you guys can also be including into this deck. Ukomon for search as well, which is just generally a really strong staple card. If you want additional level 4s in the decks, the promo Digimon is actually pretty interesting as it can come in and out from the battle area, so you can actually cycle with your Puromon until you find the exact pieces you need, but also giving you piercing as it's inherited at the same time. Promo Kuwagamon is also great to keep things suspended down and extra DP during your own turn. Argomon for Digizorb to climb up your stack even faster. You can even play the Tyrant Kabuterimon main insectoid package alongside with Grand Kuwagamon Ace as countermeasures and the memory setter Izzy to redirect attacks instead. For counter cards, you can play Mega Gargomon Ace, which is always a really strong card on its own to suspend down your opponent's board and control it. Ryudomon and Ginryomon from BT16 is also a spicy inclusion just because I play Shu Yulin so that you can potentially mind link it for free so you get a memory setter very quickly. Ginryomon also helps you suspend down stuff, and both Ryudomon and Ginryomon have inherited effects that helps you suspend even more during all turns whenever you block or even attack. And the other reason why I'm suggesting them is not only they're also black and green, they're also X antibody in trait. For more removal and control, you can include Trident Arm to force your opponents to attack and de-digivolve so that you can block, or otherwise you can go for straightforward bottom decking with Giant Missile. Alright, combos and how to play the royal base deck, starting with your opening hand and what you want to mulligan for, certainly are going to be your level 3s, your rookies, the digivolve and searching options to help you find pieces, and very importantly, you want to see access your X antibody protoform because it's going to give you a lot of value and maximizes all your effects as you climb up your stack, which is why Kokua X is in there to help us search and fetch for that. Once you find your level 4s, climb up to your 5s and then your 6s and utilize winner whenever you can as well and establish it as early as possible on the board. Okay, so for combo number 1, one memory is really all you need with winner to start off, and you want to have funbeemon ready in the raising to come out. So as soon as you go ahead, start a main, assuming your opponent has a Digimon, winner's going to gain you a memory, and make sure to always think about and be mindful of with the Puromon starter main effect as well, because you do want to tuck something into your security. So by placing something like QueenBeemon in there, which we are going to get access back into, we get to draw off the top of our security. Now, the reason of doing that is you want to establish as many face-up securities as soon as possible with these effects, and the sooner you can do that, the more buffs you're going to have and the more cards you're kind of effectively drawing off from your security, which is kind of how this deck is intended to play. This is why X Antibody Protoform is so good, and one of my favorite early stage combos is to utilize it to go into any level 4. Let's just say Waspon, for example. Protoform is going to reduce the cost by 1. funbeemon is also going to reduce the cost by 1. This level 4 play is entirely free. Now you want to go into a level 5, and that's why you want to set it up in your security, because with winner, you can go ahead and suspend it and digivolve your Waspon into a QueenBeemon for 3 costs, and you get to control the board by de-digivolving, or if you had a Vespamon in the early stages, you can utilize that to delete your opponent's Digimon as well. Afterwards, winner is going to put a security in there. Now, assuming we put Vespamon, then that means our QueenBeemon also still has the blocker here. A very effective way to start off to have a early level 5 controlling the board so that you can follow up with a level 6 afterwards. So for combo number 2, it's going to be a follow-up from the previous combo. Once you set up a level 5 on the board, we're going to try to get into our level 6. Ideally, it's going to be QueenBeemon, and you want to start your turn with at least 2 memory before you enter your starter main phase, and assuming your opponent has a Digimon, so that when you hatch, when you go into starter main, winner is going to gain you a memory. Very important, once again, you utilize Puromon, place something like QueenBeemon underneath here now. Although QueenBeemon doesn't provide any security buffs to you, we're gonna get access to it thanks to winner. But this again lets us draw the top card of security so we can utilize it. Then of course, as usual, just digivolve into a rookie if you have one. Anyways, the whole idea is now to use winner to go ahead and digivolve into QueenBeemon for the cost with 3 memory. That's why you want to have access to a total of 3 memory, so it's still kept your turn after you digivolve into it, as QueenBeemon can digivolve for 3. If you want to put your opponent to only 1 memory, go for the 4 cost instead if you want to. Winner, then now tuck away another royal base into your security, and you guys can already see I'm cycling many different buffs in there. With the Forge Beemon, extra 1k, Vespamon, blocker, which is fantastic. Now with QueenBeemon, we're gonna go ahead and attack into their Digimon or security, and with QueenBeemon's when attacking effect, this is now we get to choose to play something that's face up. Let's go ahead and reduce the cost by 8, playing this Vespamon for entirely free. With that afterwards, we can then choose the alliance for 2 checks with at least 20k, 21 and 22. Aside from that, if your opponent has a big body that's suspended, we want to go over it as well. We can take it down and then utilize QueenBeemon's inherited to trash the opponent's security. By establishing QueenBeemon on the board, it's going to give you that all turns kind of beehive cycling effect. Whenever your Vespamon's in threat, if it gets deleted or removed from the battle area, simply just put it back into your security with it. If your opponent threatens the bee herself, this is when you can use Protoform. Protoform helps you grab, say, a Waspmon back, and then you get to recover the Protoform. And then with QueenBeemon going to the bottom security, basically sort of like cycle back all over again, which is always fantastic for the follow-up. So for combo number 3, I want to show you guys how we can utilize Leopard X to gain a lot of advantages and have a massive follow-up with a ton of damage. We're going to have Shu Yulin this time as a memory setter, and we also have winner and as well as the funbeemon to start off with. We're going to push it out, start a main, winner's going to gain us some memory. We're going to utilize Poromon, put something underneath security. Doesn't really matter what you have in there at this point, but if you have sources there that I can utilize, that's always fantastic. So in this case, let's go ahead and use winner this time to digivolve into a Forge Beemon for the reduced cost of 1. And then we get to tuck something else back in as well. And let's just go ahead and tuck away a funbeemon here. Then as usual, you want to make sure you have X antibody protoform somewhere as you climb up the stack. So utilizing it now, going into QueenBeemon for 2 cost. QueenBeemon is going to de-digivolve as well, and then you can finally finish up with a Leopardmon. Get to play a green Digimon, reduce cost by 4, but thanks to having Protoform X antibody, reduce it by another 3. So in this case, let's go ahead and play a Metal Life Kuwaga to suspend down opponent's Digimon and give a 3k buff. Afterwards, because you play Metal Life Kuwagamon, you get to bounce one of your opponent's Digimon that's 5000 DP or less, but for your other Digimon, extra 3000 as well, so then you can bounce something that's 8k. Once you establish this board and your opponent is not able to answer it, this is where it goes back to your turn once again. Gonna hatch, start a main, gain a memory, and you get to start ramping up with Leopard X like crazy with this effect. So with Metal Life, you can use winner to actually digivolve into a QueenBeemon for the 3 cost. Draw, and then put something back inside. Let's just say, let's put a Waspmon in here. Now you have both your boss Digimon set up on the board. You're ready for some massive attacks. Mind Link Shu Yulin under QueenBeemon since it is X antibody. You can use Leopardmon X to play something from your hand again. This time, let's play a Waspmon, but don't use its secondary effect just yet because you can choose to bounce. This is when you can go ahead and swing with QueenBeemon. With QueenBeemon, of course, play out a level 5 or something like that, because reduce the cost by 8. And Vespamon's going to delete something, and this is where you get double alliance. You can alliance once with QueenBeemon, you can alliance again with Shu Yulin, and that will be for 3 checks with massive DP in 1 powerful attack. And this is where you can also then utilize Leopardmon X secondary effect, because now your board is wider, you can bounce something that's at least 14k back to your opponent's hand. Of course, use Leopardmon X to swing over opponent's Digimon to trash their security, or even just go for the security attack straight away, which is at least 14k thanks to the inheritables. QueenBeemon has a lot of buffs. All your royal base also has the buffs aside from Leopardmon X. Then to find a way to end the turn, you can even just go into a tigervespamon for 3 cost. It has reboot, keeping Shu Yulin underneath. You also have reboot. If you ever had a level 5 buff in there, such as Vespamon or QueenBeemon, All these guys are also blocker. Thanks to Metal Life Quagamon, you also have redirects to the insectoids as well. So this is how crazy that this combo can go into with a ton of checks to potentially finish games, and you just get to snowball and ramp up stronger and stronger with massive bodies on the board that your opponent just can't deal with all of them. Don't forget to grab the Spirit Transcendence collection on the AVAULT store right now as we have limited quantities. As always, thank you so much for watching. You guys have a great day, great night, wherever you are. See you in the next video. And this is AVAULT signing